Hey folks, Roland Martin here. Here I am with my good friend Ronnie Curt. We're on the Ozarks again, and we're here at Bull Shoals. And Ronnie, you and I have fished this lake about 20 or 30 different times, but this is the first week of April. And what do you think's going to happen?
Well, we're about 2 weeks away from the spawn. We got some fresh water coming in. We've had some big rains and some wash in, and we're going to try to fish some dirty water today, shallow, and see if we've got any fish that have moved up.
Now, Ronnie loves to power fish. I know the last time we fished together, we were with Cody Huff and we were with the Modern Electronics, but that's really not our game. I mean, we don't have, well, we have the wherewithal to do it, but we'd rather be throwing a big spinnerbait. We'd rather throw a big jig. You know, that's the kind of fishing you and I do.
Yeah, Cinco in the bushes.
Yeah, I mean, we're power fishermen, so that's kind of my trademark: heavy tackle and a heavy fish. And so that's what we're going to try to do today on Bull Shoals. We're looking for some dingy water, right?
Yep.
We're going to try to do that. Okay, folks, let's get started.
Let's see what the water temperature is. 52.7.
How much?
52.7.
That's good. Well, 52. That's a good jig temperature.
I think so.
It's a pre-spawn condition. I'm here like 2 weeks earlier. The reason why I'm here is Bass Pro Shops having their spring
Fishing fair.
Yeah, fishing fair. It's well, they had their first fishing fair in 1988. I remember I was there on that deal, but they just did a new one. So it's a brand new fishing fair celebrating their 50th, the 50th anniversary. And I've been along in Ronnie. Let me tell you about Ronnie. Bass Pro Shop is founded by John Morris. And Ronnie and Johnny were roommates in college together, going back, what, 60 years?
1972.
1972. So, we're really back, 60 years from now. And anyway, you've known Johnny a long time, and he's your lifelong friend. And in fact, you're going to be going turkey hunting and a couple other things. We're going to the Masters next week with Johnny. That's what you'll be doing.
Yeah.
So you spend a lot of time with Johnny. He's a real genuine guy, and he's a really good friend. And too bad he's not with us today fishing, because he'd probably beat us. He's very competitive.
He's very good.
He'd get up in the front and he'd try to get outcast Ronnie and I every time. But anyway, hey, let's get started. Okay.
I'm out there and I'm all tangled up. I'll get out of your way. My rod will all found up.
A lot of times when that sawdust, they're just under the surface. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As soon as it breaks through, throw it up there on the sawdust like there. As soon as it breaks through, boom! Oh man, one just bumped the bush. The bush just shook.
There we go.
Got one, son. Hey, you got one. What you got, son? Woo! What'd you get?
Kentucky.
Yeah. Oh, jig bite. Hey, I knew we'd get one.
Right off that rock.
Off that rock.
Oh, it's a little black.
And I threw back to this bush. I got hung up in it, but the bush shook. It was kind of cool. So if we just go back just about 50 feet, straight back, and I will... Boy, that sawdust, little clump of sawdust right there looks perfect. That's the kind of place that the jig would shine. Got one there. Hey, what you going, son? You got a bass. Oh yeah. Hey now, folks. Hey, this black and blue pattern. This is the deal, Tom. We got it going. We got it going. This is it. This is what we're talking about, folks. That's the exact kind of fish that Ronnie is so famous to catch. Big old largemouth on a black and blue jig. Look at that big old giant fish.
That's a good fish.
That's a good fish there, boys. That's a nice 4-pounder or so. And he hit out from that ledge a ways, didn't he?
Yeah.
How far out?
About halfway to the boat.
Halfway to the boat.
I picked it up and swimming it.
Beautiful bass. This is the deal, son. We're gonna catch them. Go into the bank. Come just kind of ease it along into that channel. How do you hit? Pretty easy?
Yeah, real easy.
Real easy.
Little bump, I felt a little bump.
Yeah. Were you working it pretty slow?
No, not really. Picking it up and shaking it, letting it fall.
I got you.
Fish on that rock right there.
Springtime in the Ozarks. I'm telling you what, this is the kind of day that I wanted it to be. We got up this morning, it was about 40 degrees and I had a lot of clothes on. But now it's warmed up to about 60. And the water temperature, son, is 56.2. That's a good water temperature.
It'll be coming up too.
Yeah, it's coming up. And Ronnie's excited because, you know, in any pattern, things like just a degree or two in water temperature is huge. The fact that the sun's shining on the water is another big deal. So there's all kinds of different factors in any pattern. In this particular black and blue jig pattern, on the channel banks that Ronnie does so well with, it needs a little sun and it needs the right temperature and it needs the right water clarity. So all these things are kind of stacking up in the right direction. And Ronnie's making a prediction that we're going to catch them down this bank because things are really getting right. Yeah. Yeah, we got to get off this pattern. We're not doing it. You know, folks, that's one thing about preconceived ideas. I mean, we think we're professional fishermen. We think we're really know-it-all fishermen. But when you have a preconceived idea and you live with it, well, that doesn't always work. So preconceived ideas are fine to have, but as soon as you find out that they're not working, you need to abandon them. So we're going to abandon the black and blue jig pattern on the channel banks. Let's do something else. You got to remember, be willing to change. You know, folks, there's so many different pattern combinations that we can think of. It's just, that's the beauty of bass fishing. There's just so many different variables, you know, whether we're going to fish clear water, muddy water, warm water, cold water, you know, it's all these millions of things with what lure, what area, what depth. I mean, it just is so cool. We haven't figured it out yet. We're working hard. But with the right pattern approach, thinking about that exact water and cover condition, try different depths, try different water clarities, try different water temperatures, try different lures, we'll probably find a good pattern. We haven't done it yet. It's just a matter of trial and error. Right now, Ronnie's throwing a jerk bait, which is a whole different ball game, and I'm throwing a spinner bait, which is another whole different ball game. I'm kind of slow rolling it and see how that works. Water's a little less dingy, a little dingy water. Water temperature is about 54.7, so it's about a degree colder, but we're a different part of the lake and we're in a windy cold. So instead of trying to get out of the wind, we're in the wind. Just try to see what happens. What you got, son? Hey, I just got one, son. What you got, son? Jig fish or worm fish? Cinco fish. Now, you know, when things really get tough, that's the other thing. People say, well, how can I catch fish if I've tried everything in the whole world to catch a fish? What should I do, Roland? And I tell them, put on a 297 green pumpkin Cinco, just like Ronnie's put on. And we've been struggling. We haven't caught much of anything. Hey, I just hit a strike. I just hit a strike there. Yeah, but I had a trailer hook. I know I had 2 bumps on the spinnerbait and the pole.
Put that trailer hook on right there. Slide it on.
Slide it on. Yeah, I will. I also had a little white head to it. You ever know one?
Yeah, good.
A good one? Big one? How big? Look at this. Ronnie's getting them, son. It was Cinco time. Cinco time. there. Typical time. I wonder if that hit a jig. Not hitting this day long. Not hitting mine. Spinnerbait very good. Might hit a jig. Maybe it's, you know, part of a pattern is just being in the right spot. And, huh? You got it? Let me at least get a strike. Don't worry. All right, let me fish that rod.
I will. I'm going to have her. Pretty well
I got one. I got a jig fish. I got a jig. Finally, I got a fish, folks. I finally got one on the black and blue jig. Yes, sir. I finally. Oh, I lost him. What the heck kind of a deal is that? I just lost it. It was about 2.5 pounds. It was a nice one. Got a little school of fish here. Well, we got a little school of fish. You know, that was the whole deal. We'd been struggling with finding fish, and so we went out to hit the dirty little areas on the channel cuts. But actually, the pattern that we found was completely different. We're in the back end of a creek where the wind is blowing the warmer water in, and I guess it's blowing the shad in. So we're catching them mainly on a Senko, but at least we found a pattern. And we could probably go to 5 or 6 other spots. And that's the beautiful thing about a pattern. It's an exact set of water and cover conditions, like the right clarity and like the water temperature and the depth and the cover and the structure. Well, once you identify all those features and duplicate it, well, we're off to the races. We got a good pattern. We'll probably go to another pocket, catch another 3 or 4 fish. Do that all day, and you'll have a great one. Anyway, folks, we're kind of struggling. We don't have much time to fish. We didn't really catch many fish to start with. We finally figured out a pattern, and so we're going to maybe fish 1 or 2 more little windy pockets with, say, Senkos and a variety of other baits. But anyway, we figured out something that you don't always catch them. Your preconceived ideas, like we had with channel cuts, hey, didn't work. Be sure to be ready to drop those preconceived notions and try different things, and just keep working. You'll find the pattern. Okay, folks. Hey, thanks for watching. Hey, Ronnie. Hey, thanks for showing me a few things about fishing. You always do with my Ozark buddy. He's just always catching fish.